Hey guys and girls, Zanzicon here, coming at you with a little tutorial on creating a block mod, in the Space Engineers game environment. I feel with me being sick in the past couple weeks, I want to bring out at least something for yous, but I'm not in a good condition to stream my regular 5-hour streams. Instead, I've decided that I'll offer some teach-ins in block modding. Today we'll be looking at setting yourself up with tools to start modding, where to put the modded content, what you would need in your modded folder for the typical modded block, and how to publish your mod, and a little touch base on other pertinent details. This is only the first installment of a series of tutorials and is only meant to give a basis to start. In future tutorials, we'll go more in depth with these processes. To start, we'll set ourselves up. You'll need a text editor. I personally use Notepad++, but any text editor can work. To get Notepad++, simply go to Notepad. Just go to this URL right here, and click on the download link on the left side. Next, you will choose your download preference, whether it be the installer, the zip format, the 7Z format, etc. I personally suggest the installer if you don't know what you're doing. Once you have the text editor downloaded, you will need something to create your models. I use Blender in conjunction with Harag's Block Tool add-on. His add-on makes the whole export process very easy and only quickens your mod creation process. To download Blender, go to blender.org and click on the download button in the middle of the page. The current version of making this tutorial is Blender 2.77a. When Blender is installed, you will need Havok's HCT standalone filter manager.execute and FBX importer to create the rigid body collision for use in the game environment. Both the filter manager and importer can be obtained on Harag's Block Tool guide page right here. Here you can also follow the steps provided to ensure everything is done properly when it comes to exporting your entire model. I personally used this page over and over again until I was comfortable and I comfortably understood the process of exporting that it outlines. Once Havok is downloaded, you'll need MWM in Builder. At this time, the builder located in the game's tools is broken. If you ask on Keen Software House's Discord though, someone will happily provide you with a working version. After this, you'll go back to the Harag's page and download the actual exporter add-on he provides. This is in the tables of content under using the add-on. Sorry, not using the add-on, installing the add-on. And then you'll click here to install the current version. Now that you have everything you need to export the model, we'll need the tools to create the textures that will be added to the model, as well as exported to the model using the block tool provided by Harag. You have many choices, as all you need is a .png texture file that will later be converted using Keen Software House's texture packing tool. For a free and powerful image editor, I suggest GIMP 2.0. You can obtain this program at this URL. Just click the big download button. Current version of the time is 2.8.18. You can go the extra step and buy Crazy Bump for $5 and something cents, but it's not needed. Crazy Bump, in my case, is used only for creating a quick ambient occlusion and normal map and texture. This can just as easily be created with GIMP alone, but I appreciate the time it saves. Not that Crazy Bump creates perfect texture mapping, but editing a little is more convenient than editing the entire thing. Crazy Bump can be downloaded at crazybump.com. If $5 is affordable and you plan to do a lot of normal mapping, I would suggest this. Current version as of now is 1.22. Now we have the appropriate programs to export models and textures. Now we need something for sound. There are much better solutions than the one I'm about to suggest, but I have never had to upgrade to a better audio editor. For a free editor without the hassle of downloading, I recommend Twisted Wave Online. This can be used at this URL. It is as simple as grabbing your audio file and dragging it into the drop down in the browser, in the little drop box here. You can also use the button to start a new file, upload a file, import from Google Drive, or import from SoundCloud. It'll automatically open a new browser and or file search directory so you can edit your audio file. Once you're done editing, you can go ahead and download the file onto your computer by going to the File tab and selecting Download. More details on this once we actually get to this section of the tutorial. Now, before I finish this installment of the tutorial, I would like to mention there is one last thing that must be done with Blender before we're all set to start modding. When you open Blender, you will need to tell it how to use Harag's tool block and have it. To do this, while in Blender, go to your Files tab and click on User Preferences. Or use Ctrl-Alt and while holding, press U. While in the User Preferences, select the Add-ons tab. On the left, look for Space Engineers. Click it, then select the Space Engineers Tools checkbox. To enable it, click the drop down to open the Space Engineers Block Tools Preference Settings. Here you will link the game's directory, which is where you have it installed on your computer, the location of MWM Builder on your computer. In the directory your Havok content tools are located, i.e. the FBX importer and standalone filter manager. Just gonna quit this for a second because I don't think I'll have to re-enter all this stuff. And as you can see, it's all there. This is pertinent to my locations, but for you, the location may be different. Once you have all this, save user settings, then you can close this window. There are a few other useful Blender add-ons, but we will not discuss them here. If you are serious about using Blender, you will learn what they are. Now we're all set. We'll do a basic setup of our folders to end the installment on. Excuse me. All mods will be located in the same location. When pertaining to Space Engineers, your mods will be located in App Data, Roman, Space Engineers, Mods. When you go to this location, you can see that there are SBM zip files and regular folders. The SPM files are published workshops that you're subscribed to. The folders are localized folder. The folders are localized versions of those mods. If you have never made a mod yet, you won't have any folders in this location. And if you are not subscribed to any mods or joined any servers with mods, you won't have any SPM files either. Setup of our mod folder is simple. First, make a folder with the preferred name of the mod you want to make. For the sake of this tutorial, we will make a folder called Zanzicon's Basic Block. Now, I also like to put WIP, which is work in progress, on mods that I have yet to finish. It's not mandatory, but it does help you keep reference of which ones are done and which ones are not done. Now go into the newly created mod folder. In here you will make a couple more folders. The first being a folder called Data. This is where all the SBC files related to our mod will be located. SBC files define what our mod does. These files are also known as XML files. The SBC file definition that we use will be dependent on the type of mod that we are making. Details on this will be later. Now we need to make another folder. This one will be Models. This is evidently where the model of the block will be located. Now we need another folder called Textures. This is where our model's textures, icons, and particles will go. The last folder we'll make is the audio folder. Not every mod will have audio, but for good immersion, if you can put sound, put sound. There are also some other folders that are not regularly used, but depending on your mod, might be relevant. Another thing to mention is that these folders can be named whatever you want them to be named. I just prefer to keep them in line with Keen's folder naming convention. In reality though, if your model is linked to the directory Zanzicon's basic block, and then folder 1, folder 2, and then model execute, then you'll of course have you'll have to name your folders as such. The naming convention of your folders pertain to the references within your SBC files that will be attached to the mod. Once your mod is ready to be published, we'll also put a thumbnail in this location. And when it is published, a modinfo SBMI file will automatically be placed in this location. So as an example, we have the thumbnail, which would be named thumb, which is just a picture of your mod. And the modinfo.sbmi is just a reference to the workshop that this has been published to. That is really all there is to it. We'll end our first installment of this tutorial here. Throughout the rest of the series, we'll be going more in depth on everything that was discussed today. I hope this was informative and helpful, and please do check out the rest of the series for a better understanding on how to mod Space Engineers. Throughout this series, we'll look at how Blender is used, a thorough explanation of each of the Blender layers, how texturing is done, how to export to a compatible version for the game, how to set up the sound and convert it to an in-game format, how to set up the SBC files, and how to publish the module on the workshop. Again, I hope this tutorial can prove to be very useful. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to comment. If you wish to be notified of future streams and/or videos, please follow. If you enjoyed the content provided, please like. This is Zanzicon signing out. Keep it real, keep it safe, and until next time.